Federal judge denies Trump's attempt to withhold the records from January 6th commit. CNN, a federal judge will allow the U.S. House to access hundreds of pages of documents from Donald Trump presidency leading up to and about the January 6th attack at the U.S. Capitol in the forceful rejection of Trump's recent attempts to control information from his White House. The ruling Tuesday night from Judge Tanya Chutkan of the U.S. District Court in D.C. is a blow to Trump's effort to keep more than 700 pages of records from his White House secret, though his legal team has informed the court it intends to appeal. Presidents are not kings and plaintiff is not president, she wrote. As of now, the National Archive remains on track to turn over to House a number of documents on Friday, including White House calls logs, video logs, and schedules related to January 6th, as well as 3 pages of handwritten notes from Trump, then Chief of Staff. The outcome in court also could help the House in its pursuit of more information from those around Trump, including witnesses who has been supposed and haven't spoken to the committee yet. The court holds that the public interest lies in permitting, not enjoining, the combined will of the legislative, and executive branches to study events that lead to the occurred on January 6th and to consider restoration to prevent such events from ever occurring again, Chutan wrote in a 39-page opinion. The judge, in her ruling, shut down Trump's argument in court on several fronts. She decided that the former president's wishes couldn't overcome the decisions of the current president regarding protecting privileged information of the executive branch. Is the incumbent president who is the best situated to protect the executive branch interest, Chutan said. She also knocked down Trump for any attempts to protect himself out of secrecy. Presidential privilege exists for the benefit of the republic, not any individual, she wrote. Because of that, Congress and the court can access presidential communications when there is a need to inform the public, the judge decided. In this case, Judge said she wouldn't look at Trump's records document by document and wouldn't second guess the Biden administration's decision to release them. She also noted that though the committee has made sweeping request for request, it does not exceed its restorative power. The former Republican president filed his lawsuit last month in D.C. District Court, claiming executive privilege and alleging that the House requests for documents are unprecedented in their breadth and scope, and illegitimate. The Biden White House has declined to intervene to block access to the Trump record. The National Archive, which inherited Trump's presidential record after he left office, has said it will begin handing over records to the House Committee next week on November 12, with more document productions set for later in November. The case has already become a historic test of the power of the former president. Some of the records Trump has sought to keep secret include White House video record, call logs, and notes from his top advisors related to his claims that the 2020 presidential election was stolen and his reaction to the January 6th attack, according to a sworn declaration from the National Archives. The House has argued to the court that Trump has no right to keep the document confidential from his presidency, and say the need for the recourse is to reconstruct Trump's actions on January 6th and his effort to undermine the 2020 election. Republican Benny Thompson, who chairs the House Select Committee, called the ruling a big deal for the congressional probe, telling CNN's Chris Cuomo on Cuomo Primetime that he looked forward to the panel's investigators going through the document with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that our government was not weaponized against its citizens. We can only do that by getting access to the information. I applaud our lawyers who defended us in this court setting. The Mississippi Democrat said, I applaud the expeditious ruling that we got because we have to get to this. This story has been updated with additional details today, Tuesday,